You're watching WPTA TV 21 Live News at 5 with Keith Edwards, Melissa Long, and Brent Trenton.
Good evening. Turmoil within the Republican ranks in the U.S. House of Representatives.
And as Skip Loescher reports, a battle is shaping up over who will become Speaker of the House.
I do believe that when the dust settles, that you'll see that I am the next Speaker of the House.
House Republicans are playing the blame game on Capitol Hill. Many of them are placing the blame at the feet of Speaker Newt Gingrich and Majority Leader Dick Armey for GOP losses in Tuesday's congressional elections. So Louisiana's Bob Livingston will try to unseat Gingrich, the man he calls his friend, as Speaker.
I don't do so lightly. I don't do so cheerfully, but I do so resolutely.
And Livingston contends he will have the support he needs to win. Livingston apparently turned down an overture from Oklahoma's Steve Largent to run as a team. Largent wants to replace Dick Armey as Majority Leader.
The Republican Party hit an iceberg. And I think the question that is before our conference today is whether we retain the crew of the Titanic or we look for some new leadership.
Arizona's Matt Salmon says he and 7 other House Republicans will not vote to keep Gingrich as Speaker.
When you're the owner of a football team or a basketball team and your playmaker is constantly calling the wrong plays and you lose game after game after game, it's time to find a new coach.
Gingrich is considered somewhat less vulnerable than Armey, who is calling on his colleagues to rekindle the spirit of the contract with America. Even if Gingrich and Armey keep their jobs, their hold over House Republicans will be weakened, and that can only be good news for resurgent Democrats. In Washington, I'm Skip Loescher, 21 Alive News.
A Steuben County company is closing its doors, meaning 240 people will lose their jobs. Eaton Corporation in Hamilton, formerly known as Lectron, announcing it will begin to phase out production as early as April. The company makes auto parts and says it needs to cut costs and consolidate manufacturing. Eaton plans to relocate the production lines in Michigan.
State and city officials are trying to keep Lincoln National Corporation's headquarters in the only place it's ever called home, Fort Wayne. Governor Frank O'Bannon and Fort Wayne Mayor Paul Helmke met with Lincoln President John Basha on Election Day about the pros and cons of a possible move. The proposed move would take about 60 jobs from the downtown area. Lincoln officials meet next week to discuss the matter further. The site of many a traffic snarl is just about free and clear tonight. The $3.5 million construction project on Illinois Road between Apple Glen and Hadley Roads is more than halfway complete, and all the lanes are now open for the winter. That's important when more than 30,000 vehicles use the road every day.
Well, I think it's good that it's open because I go that way every day to work, but it's still kind of rough.
That's because the road's not finished. Construction will resume in the spring and should be complete next August.
Overseas, another bombing in Israel claimed the lives of 2 people, the 2 bombers themselves. The blast happened in a crowded shopping center. 21 other people were injured. Authorities say the bomb went off prematurely and a more powerful blast may have been planned. 2 suitcases full of explosives were found nearby. The blast came as the Israeli cabinet was considering the Israeli-Palestinian land for peace deal. A vote has been put off indefinitely. Foreign countries are coming to the aid of victims of Hurricane Mitch in Central America. Supplies are pouring in, but with numerous roads and bridges washed out, the supplies just can't get to where they're needed. Some 10,000 people have been killed. The United States has already sent $70 million in aid. Other countries like Britain and Brazil are also joining in the relief effort.
Back at home, the Community Harvest Food Bank is getting help stocking its shelves in time for the holidays. 98.9, The Bear, Glenbrook Dodge, and the Fort Wayne Fury are conducting a food and fund drive for the food bank. This morning, The Bear encouraged its listeners to bring canned goods to Glenbrook Dodge to fill the bed of a Dodge Ram pickup truck. The food bank is flooded with requests during the holiday season and the winter months when household budgets are stretched to their limits. We finish up our special report tonight on athletes giving back to their community.
And Ryan Elijah joins us for a look at the positive side of sports. Ryan.
Yeah, as you know, Keith and Melissa, usually we just hear about the greed, the corruption associated with sports. But as we've seen this week, there is a good side. Sometimes, though, you just have to look a little bit deeper. And tonight we focus on 2 popular Fort Wayne Comets who are giving back off the ice. There are many things that come with being a professional athlete these days. Among them is an instant role model status. Thankfully, some still take that job very seriously.
My calling that God gave me, He gave me some skills to be a professional athlete, and I think He just didn't give me that to be selfish about it and just use that for my best interest, but also to help some other people along the way.
There are some messages that you can carry to kids as far as, alcohol, drugs, gangs, and just staying out of trouble and doing well in school.
As the oldest pro sports team in Fort Wayne, the Comets have a great reputation for giving back to their community. And certainly Ian Boyce and Guy Dupuis are among their most popular messengers. They've spent the majority of their careers in Fort Wayne, both playing hockey and impacting area youth.
That's the most rewarding thing of all. I mean, I think if you can come away and have a kid come up to you after and said, I really understand what you're trying to say to me, and I'm going to try my best, and that's such a tremendous feeling. And
want it or not, we are role models to them. They take us as role models. We have the opportunity with what we do and what we say to them to influence them positively.
Unlike many pro athletes, especially the ones you'll find in minor league hockey, both Boyce and Dupuis have made Fort Wayne their off-season home. And they've even gone a step further than that. They've married into their community. Settling down in the IHL is not easy with constant player turnover each season. But both have married local girls, making it even easier to invest time in the Fort Wayne community.
It's my home, and I care about what goes on in my community just like